It's okay. Okay. Let me pull the chat back up again. Sweet. Hello. So I'm not sure if they can hear you because I have my desktop audio muted. Okay. In case anybody is wondering who I'm talking to, it's our social media manager. Just in case if you're wondering why I'm talking to an invisible person. So I'm just warming up right now, waiting for more people to get in, and then maybe we'll start taking suggestions. Oh my gosh, Countess Portia. That'd be really cool. Become the royalty she deserves to be. Peppy, but as a Pepsi can. Aw. I'm a little nervous, so hopefully I'll loosen up a bit more. Well, she is soft buff. I think I had you muted because it was like giving me feedback. Like I'd hear you twice. I don't know if there is a way to change that though. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see, what did we have her? She was like a halfling rogue. That'd be cute. Let's see. I'm kind of liking Pirate Portia. I like Devil Portia. I wonder what that would look like. And I also like D&D Portia. That sounds interesting. Oh! I think that would be good to warm up with, because it's nice and simple. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Brooke. Okay, so I think I'll start with Cat Onesie Portia, because that's easy, and I think it'll warm me up a bit. We'll figure out the... Well, I guess... No, it'd still give feedback. I don't know. We can figure it out for next time, maybe. Thank you for being impressed by my circle. It'll get better, I promise. This is just Photoshop. I think it's Photo Cloud. What is it? What is Adobe doing now? It's like CES. I don't know. CS Cloud. It's the cloud one. I think. Portia with straight hair. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how long her hair would be? Are we hiring though? We kind of. Should we? Is that something we want to disclose? We'll keep it a secret then. Oh, what if little Peppy is sleeping on her back? It's like sleepover Portia. I think I'll limit this sketch to maybe about 20 minutes or something. So it won't be fully refined, but we'll get an idea for it. You can create your own Animal Crossing Portia, and it'll be canon. A paid scene with like a pajama party. How I design outfits. So I guess what starts off first is um I gather reference. Like in this case, obviously I don't really need reference, but like say for her masquerade outfit, the first thing I do is gather reference, and a lot of the time it'll be kind of just pulling whatever looks good that I think would fit her, putting it in a collage, and then showing the writers. And then they kind of give me feedback, you know, what fits her, what fits the scene, or whatever. And then I get maybe like 5 examples from that, and then I start designing, like kind of just taking aspects from each piece, like each outfit that I have reference for. Um, Actually, I can show you some of my. I don't know if I my work file for her masquerade. Yeah, so this is pretty much um, the my I guess mood board, you could say. These are like kind of like the outfits that I pulled inspiration from. Um, and then like you can kind of see this is kind of like a preliminary design. There are some things that I changed. Like for example, oh, it might be lagging. Yeah, it's lagging a little bit. So hopefully they are seeing what I'm showing as I'm speaking it. Um, so yeah, you can kind of see that I pulled the high waist, like kind of like empire waist, kind of like the kind of like Renaissance sleeves, Yeah. So like you can kind of see kind of like the main inspiration was kind of like Regency, Italian Renaissance, and I think like some of these is actually like Russian royalty. So it's kind of just taking bits and pieces from different eras, different countries to kind of like create something that's unique and like more fantasy than accurate, historically accurate. But yeah, if that answers your question. On designing characters, it's actually kind of hard to explain. Kind of like having to think of how to articulate it. Um, well, obviously, it starts with the writers kind of like having the idea first. Um, they usually kind of. I know when Nick, are kind of like one of the creators, um, when he was still working on the project, um, he's actually a pretty good artist too. He actually kind of like sketched out a lot of the concepts for the characters. Um, like in the art book, it has some of the art for that he did for the courtiers, and that is actually kind of where I worked off of. Um, and so they'd give me a personality, kind of like their role, um, and then sometimes a preliminary sketch, like a really rough concept art. And from there, I kind of do the same thing as outfits. I'd gather some inspiration. I'd make a mood board, see if it fits the writer's vision, and then I start making. Let me see. I don't want to waste too much time kind of showing all my uh, work files, but I'll kind of make it quick. You can see a lot of it in the art book as well. Um, so I don't want to kind of be too long-winded about it, but like for example, I know Valdemar went through a lot of different variations. I don't even know if I have the work file anymore. It might be on my my work desktop. I have some Volta though. Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know where I have a good example, but um, basically I just draw different variations of different characters. Hold on. What do I have here? And then I throw it back to the writers, get their opinion on it. Um, then go back and forth until we start getting something that we like. These are all still kind of like more refined designs. I don't know where I have um, kind of like the different variations of them, but hopefully you get the idea. It's a lot of back and forth between the writers and the artists. Um, and it's just, having the writers pick out the best attributes from multiple sketches, combining those attributes until we eventually get a finished product. How did I get started with mobile games? Well, to be honest, this is kind of like my first, I don't want to say like official industry job, but previously I had worked with Gaia Online as a contractor. Um, and I guess that was where I met Dana. Well, that's not where I met her, but she kind of suggested me for that job. She was a friend beforehand. Um, and I worked with Gaia for, I think, over a year, maybe two. Um, and that kind of gave me experience with production work, like actually producing, designing, producing, and implementing uh, character sprites and things like that. Um, and then from there, I got the job here, again from Dana's recommendation. Um, and it was a lot of the same process from Gaia, so it was pretty like smooth transitioning. But yeah, I mean, I'm fairly new to like the industry, I guess. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much more time on this. I guess I'm gonna keep it rough. Because I can spend all day noodling. So how long it takes me to finish something. So that varies wildly. It varies anywhere from like, I guess it depends on what I'm working on. So let's say for example a sprite. And this is like not a new outfit or anything. It's like a sprite from scratch, brand new character. If I from the finalized sketch to the final product, it would take maybe about 2 or 3 work days. Um, but if I were like including the design process, it could be anywhere from like a couple days to like a full week, depending on how hard it is. Like kind of like the how hard it is to finalize the design with the writers. So, and like an illustration, um, that can take, I would say, and a lot of it can vary depending on the deadline. I have had to make an illustration like start to finish in like 2 days. Um, yeah, that would be a like a past work hours kind of scenario. But if I like was doing well on my deadlines, it could take I could take about like a full work week, like 5 days to kind of like really work on it and refine it. think, let's see. Advice for people trying to get into the industry. The only advice I can give is make friends. Like, don't make friends, for the sake of getting a job, but just, make friends with people. I can't really speak for any other scenario because that is exactly how I got my job. I was lucky enough to have really good friends who, you know, enjoyed my work as well and knew that I was reliable and were willing to work with me. So that's all I can really say about it. My favorite character to draw and make designs for. So I'm going to show my bias a little bit. That would be Lucio. um, I find him really fun to make like outfits for because he's just a mess. He is a chaotic mess. So I can kind of like I can go ham on him. And a lot of the times, my personal preference would be in line with what Lucio would wear. So it's like it's a little easier in that regard. Um but I also I love designing outfits for the girls though, like Portia and Nadia, because that's like I wouldn't necessarily wear the kind of clothes that they wear, but I love looking at the kind of clothes that they would wear. So, yeah. So, I think I'm gonna go on to the next drawing here. So if you guys want to give some more suggestions. Meme Lord Portia. I think I need to chub up her cheeks a little bit. Yeah, I did go to art school. I went to art center in Pasadena. Um, I don't know if I'd suggest it. To be honest, I don't know if I suggest art school in general. I learned a whole lot there, but it was really tough. That is where I met Dana, though, so I can't say it was all bad. But again, yeah, it's a good place to meet friends, learn a lot. Okay, I'm liking both Baby Portia and Pirate Portia. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try Baby Portia because I think that'd be really cute. Um, Let me say though that anything I draw here, don't consider it canon because again, a lot of what goes into canon material is collaborative between the artists, and it's just me working on this today, so I can't consider everything that I work on to be canon. But I do like Baby Portia, so I think we'll do that. Oh, Baby Portia as a pirate, that's so cute. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll combine the two. Okay. How many artists are there or that we work with? So Dana is the art director. Um, so I don't. So she kind of works. So in house, we have two artists that work on exclusively Arcana, Dana and me. Um, and then we have, I think, one or two contract artists. One of them works on the backgrounds mostly, and then the other artist works on mostly Muriel. And then I kind of do everything across all of the routes. Um, it just depends on what needs to be done, but I tend to focus more on uh, Portia and Lucio. Um, it's so hard to talk and draw at the same time. But yeah, so I'd say there's like four, two in house and two contract. Need more room. I'll have her holding a wooden pirate sword. She definitely played pirates when she was a kid. Probably got into fights with Julian over who gets to be the pirate king or queen. I do I do any work for fictive? I helped a little bit in the beginning with the social media posts, but I don't actually like work on any of the stories. Okay, so we gotta give her the messiest hair. The character that's the most difficult to draw. So for me, I think that's definitely Julian. Um, so I would not say that my like kind of like my own personal style um, matches too closely with like the Arcana style with like kind of like Dana's style. I do an okay job most of the time, but Dana will often, draw over, um, especially the faces to kind of get the style matching correctly. Um, and boy, I can never get Julian's face right, like for the life of me. Oh, yeah, I did help with Devil Lucio and Masquerade. I did, in fact, enjoy them a lot, so thank you. I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, so somebody asked how safe Portia is going. We don't have all the data yet. It's definitely like we're definitely seeing a lot of new people reading it, which we're very happy about. But we don't have all of the data yet, so we can't make an official, you know, answer about that. But let's see. Trying to think of what she might wear. She definitely needs a sash to hold her sword in. Hold on, maybe we can make him stand on a defeated Julian. Somebody asked what it felt like when the Arcana started getting a bigger fan base. Um, I mean, it was exciting. I joined the team around maybe about halfway through uh, the first three routes. Um, I had been around. I had like been with the project though since the very beginning. I actually uh, donated to the original Kickstarter. Um, so I guess I've kind of seen it grow since its inception. Um, so I mean, I think it was very exciting, especially when my design started going. I wouldn't say mine, but like the ones that I worked on started appearing in the game. It was very exciting um, because I was like, wow, finally, characters that I worked on, people are seeing them. So it was very exciting. Why everyone's faces are slightly turned to the side? Do you mean like the sprite, like the sprites? I mean, it's mostly that it's a little more dynamic. If you'll notice that Voldemort and Volta's sprites are facing straight forward. And that was because in that instance, we wanted them to be very, not confrontational, but like in your face. Like we want it to be kind of more off-putting. Because it's like nobody really, I guess naturally, nobody really kind of like, stands right in front of you, right? Straightforward. Everyone's usually, a little off to the side, a little more inviting. Um, and I guess that's why I guess most of the sprites sort of default to that. But then Voldemort and Volta are a little different because we wanted them to be more like in your face. Like Volta is like kind of like getting up right under you and like begging you for food or whatever, or for attention or whatever. And then Voldemort is very like, they're meant to be kind of creepy and off-putting in general. So the fact that they're staring straight at you, their body is like right like parallel to yours. So I guess just to make it more natural. And then in the instances where we break that convention is to kind of like unsettle you. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on Julian, so we'll just do. Yeah. He's being a good brother and letting. Oh, is anatomy difficult? Heck yeah. I've had multiple years of life drawing and anatomy classes and everything, but it's still tough. A lot of the times, like in the instances where I don't know what something is supposed to look like, that is when you look up reference and everything. Sometimes we take pictures of our own reference. The time period for the Arcana. So I mean, it's fantasy, so it's hard to really equate like it to an exact time period. I think we were going for like medieval, Renaissance, Enlightenment, like obviously pre steam engine, you know? And obviously around the time period where bloodletting was still widely accepted. So let's work a little bit more on Portia. Yeah, I'm using a Cintiq 13 HD. So the one that I have at currently, we're all working from home. Um, so I have the same tablet that I have at work. So it's a 13 HD Cintiq. And yeah, we'll be posting these sketches at the very least on the behind the Arcana Twitter. These are pretty rough, honestly. Like I'm not spending a whole lot of time. I can definitely do like refine them a bit more um, if I had a bit more time, but these are kind of just for fun. Oh. Our social media manager finally caught up with the stream, so she's seeing that Julian. Oh, it's a drawing monitor. It's the Cintiq 13 HD, so it's a display tablet. So I'm drawing right on the screen. Have I ever used tarot cards? Um, Not myself. I've gotten a couple tarot readings, but I don't like uh read them myself, I guess. Um, I've been weirdly interested in what is it called? I guess it's like fortune telling, like pendulum and tarot cards and rune stones and everything. I don't practice them myself, but I do find them very interesting, and I don't know a whole lot about them, but oh, uh-oh, sorry, my cat just knocked something over and distracted me. um, yeah, the tarot cards are gonna be back in stock soon, so I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't read them either. But I absolutely kind of collect them just because the art's pretty. And I think that's definitely a valid reason to buy tarot decks. Oh, my cat? Her name is Selkie. She is a Maine Coon mix, and she is a very special kitty. She doesn't have any ears. So she looks like a like a little seal. So that's why I called her Selkie. Oh, Save Portia. So that is a little campaign that we are running. Um, so Portia, um, unfortunately, is the her readership is not very high. It's been pretty low ever since, kind of like the beginning since we started her route. Um, so basically, the Save Portia campaign is just to kind of like get people to take a look at her route. So people who haven't read her before or were kind of like never super interested in checking it out, we're kind of like raising awareness, being like, hey, this is like a super interesting route, why don't you check it out, sort of thing. We're spreading the word. So if you haven't read Portia yet, absolutely give it a check, like check it out. There's lots of really good stuff in there. So yeah. And like if you have read it, awesome, thank you, please stick with us. But spread the word, you know. If you've got a friend who hasn't read her yet, go bother them to go check her out. um, I just recently posted a picture of her on my personal Twitter. Um, I don't. Well, actually no. I can just. I'm so silly. I'm on a desktop. I can show you right now. This is her. She's very fluffy. I have little bundles of cat fur all over my floor. And she's just a little orb, a little fluffy orb. I helped with the pins, which are not, I don't think are in the store yet. They are coming. Um, but yeah, I helped with those. Um, Obviously some of the prints, which were illustrations I worked on, but none of the like keychains or anything. Hi, Selkie. You're coming to bother me too now? She hopped up on the desk next to me. How long are... I'm asking my community manager, how long are we, gonna stream for? Like, do we want to do another one, or... Let's see, can we think of a kind of a quick suggestion that we can do? Selkie, get off my keyboard. So we're at about an hour right now. So if we want, we can either end it now, or if you guys have a small suggestion that we could do. I think a D&D Portia might be... I mean, that's a kind of like, I'd like to design that, you know, a bit more. So yeah, I wouldn't call that small. Pickle Portia. Oh, that'd be cute. Portia as the star. um, let's let's do Peppy and a Portia. One thing that's funny. Let's just do kind of a silly one. We'll do buff Portia, like bodybuilder Portia. Like she's already pretty buff. You know, she's got some muscles, but let's go full bodybuilder with it. My favorite ships in the Arcana. Um, let's see. The cool thing about that is that pretty much everything is canon. Like it's kind of a free for all. I like. I have a very soft spot for Azra and Muriel. Um, and while their marriage didn't work out, I am partial to Nadia and Lucio. I think they're just, you know, not like an ideal couple by any means, but they're just very funny together. I hear purrs coming from your mic. Is your kitty bothering you too? Aww. Community manager's kitty is bothering her too. Oh, no apologies. Kitty purrs are nothing to apologize for. I do have social media stuff that you can follow me on. I'm most active on Twitter, and my Twitter is, I'll write it out. You can, right there. Um, and yeah, I don't draw a whole lot in my free time, unfortunately. I've been trying to get better at it, but I do post pictures of kitties occasionally. yeah, if you want. The community manager is posting the... I don't know if you actually want me to call you by your real name. I've just been calling you community manager. The brush I'm using, so the brush that I'm using right now and that we use pretty much for all of the Arcana stuff is a modified brush that Dana had. It just kind of looks like this. These are kind of like all the settings. It's modified from like a, I think like a brush pack that a professional artist downloaded or made available for download or something. Whoops, I just turned smoothing off. No, oh okay. There's nothing to edit there. But yeah. It's the same one we use for line art, we use for color, we use for backgrounds. That's definitely helps in keeping everything consistent looking. Let me get rid of this. Sulky. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That is like... I have not. I have many friends who love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's like, it's one of those series that is a little too crazy. Like, I tried watching some of the anime and I just can't follow it. It's just so weird and out there. So I watched a little bit of it, but I have not, kind of like gotten into it. Oh, like, are we talking like canonically or like in this weird bodybuilder Portia AU? Let's see, if we were going with the bodybuilder AU, I think she could. And while she is very strong in canon, I don't know if she can lift Muriel. Just because Muriel is very, very big. She could probably lift Julian, though. I'd say that. Don't take that as canon, but in my personal opinion, I think she could. Okay, so I think that's it for that. Okay, so I think that's it. Do we want to end it soon? Okay. Okay, so thanks, guys. I think we're gonna end it now. We definitely love to continue streaming. That's definitely something we're kind of working on. If you like it, let us know. And keep reading Portia. Keep spreading the word. If somebody hasn't read it yet, go bother them to go read it. And yeah. Oh, like the people or... Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. Hunter Griffin, Fujiwari, Lucia, Jade, thank you all for coming. Lord Darcia, thank you for coming. Bagel Boy. Oh, Masquerade Tea, thank you for coming. Thanks for coming, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, gonna log off now. Thanks again. Bye-bye.